What's up, folks? David Soto Jr. here, and this is the David Soto Jr. podcast. What's up, folks? Welcome to episode 24 of the David Soto Jr. podcast. I am your host, David Soto Jr. I'm coming to you from, I'm not sure exactly where I am. Blue River Campground, just outside of Silverthorne, Colorado. And I don't know if you could hear a light humming, but that's the river behind me. You can't see it. Oh, I don't know if you can see it or not. It is. You can see the river behind me. If you're listening, just imagine there's a river behind me. I'm here in my van, and I was going to try and broadcast before the sun came up, or to crest it over that mountain, but here it comes. It's a ridge, rather. I actually don't know the difference. But bear with me. I'm going to fix this. Yeah, that's life, folks. Sometimes you hear shit you don't want to hear. Like me putting up a shade in my window so the sunlight doesn't directly hit me. Okay, what are we going to talk about today? First thing is, I'll probably title this How to Sell a Million Books, Part 3. And the reason I'm going to title it that is because I released Moncada. I want to talk about my Moncada release, and it was a terrible launch. It was a horrible book launch, and essentially nobody bought my book. Now the fucked up part here is I've been talking about Moncada. I've been talking about Pierre and his adventures since November, since I started NaNoWriMo 2017. And people are like, oh my gosh, sounds like a great story. I can't wait to read it. Blah, blah, blah. And I released the story. So initially I was writing this whole book full of short stories about Pierre. But Moncada seemed like such a standalone story on its own that I wanted to publish it. And so I published Moncada, and I talked about it and share it on Instagram, and people like it. You know, they dot and like. And I did not expect to have such a horrible, horrible launch. Okay, so because it was in pre-order, I did not see how many were being sold. I got ranked there for a while on, Latin American literature, but then it started dropping immediately. 550 something. And I kept pushing it, putting it out there. Hey, pre-sale, everybody. You've been waiting for it. Here it is, pre-sale. Nobody bought. Okay. So all I know is it's the last day. Oh, no. And then I was giving away Marisol Rivera. And so I wanted people to go get Marisol Rivera for free and pre-order Moncada at the same time. Kind of like, here, go get Marisol Rivera for free, pre-order Moncada, and then they would link those books together on Amazon. Well, here's what happened. I finally saw, on the release day, which I moved up to the 3rd because I thought I'd be working this weekend, and I'm not. Another story. The release day was June 3rd, and on the day it released, the stats came out. And 5 people pre-ordered Moncada. 5 people. And I'll tell you who they are. 3 of them are people that I said texted or called or was even, hey, next to his computer, download my free book and buy Moncada for me. One guy even promised to give him back his $3 next time I saw him. So it was my buddy here, or in Colorado Springs. It was another friend in Boulder, and then I text my brother and ask him to buy it and download it. That's 3. One of them is a friend. One of them is an internet friend that I've never met in real life, but we've been kind of friends for a couple years now and kind of sharing each other's life as we strive to be some type of artist. And he's like, "Hey man, bought your book or bought both your books." He didn't make the free deal. He bought Marisol Rivera and pre-ordered Moncada. So maybe he'll read it. That's cool. I know those other 3 aren't gonna read them. They just did it as a favor. Hey, I'm your boy. I'm your brother. Do this for me. I appreciate it. Okay, thank you. They're not gonna read it. They don't give a fuck about the books I read, right? That's 4. The last one, probably my cousin. She's bought all my books and reads them. So that's 4. That's so, or that's 5. That's all 5 of the pre-orders. What happened to all of those people who were following me and darring un likes? I don't know. I don't know what happened. So you want to talk about feeling low on June 3rd when I say these stats? I was feeling low. Man, lower than whale shit. I felt pretty bad. I tried to console myself with food. Imagine that. Had some gluten-free pancakes and more stuff probably as the day went on. But here's the thing. I try to tell myself that I'm going to press on. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to publish another book. I'm going to publish this whole series. People are going to like it. I don't have enough of a following. I haven't found my tribe, right? I haven't found the people who like. Now I have, right? I have found people who like my book. Every time I get on, it's allergy season. I'm sorry, and I haven't had allergies in years. That's because I'm not taking care of myself. All of a sudden, I have allergies this year. Anyways, there are people who like my book. I just don't have enough of them. I guess. But they're out there. So, so Moncada is dropping off of the bestsellers list. Last time I checked, it was 600 or something. So, the lesson here is what I've talked about before. Is that what's in it for other people? Like, people don't give a shit. People don't care unless it's going to benefit them. And I have not provided a product that's going to benefit a lot of people. I haven't convinced enough people that my books are going to provide them with something. So I'll give you an example. I did an open mic the other night, and a woman got up And she said, "Oh, I'm going to read a chapter out of my books. Here's the first two in the series. They are available here at Book Bar Denver." And the first thing I thought of, I don't want to buy your damn book. Right? That's how people think. Unless you provide something to convince them, right? Hey, Mr. and Mrs. John Q. Public, I have a termite exterminator. Get the fuck out of here with your termites. We ain't got no termites. Well, when you have termites and this guy comes around, you're like, oh man, you're a lifesaver. I can't wait to give you money, right? People have to have a need first, and they need to know that what you're selling them is going to fill that need. Or they have to be convinced that they want what you're trying to sell, that it's going to benefit them, or else they don't give a shit. Now, I personally, like, why don't I buy all the goddamn books in a bookstore? Why don't I buy every single one? Why don't I want this lady shows her series and beautiful book covers, and she read the chapter, and it was very entertaining. It was a good read, but first thought right away is put your goddamn books down. I don't want to see that shit. I'm here to listen to, I'm here to sell my books. That's what's fucked up, right? But it makes me realize that this is how people are. She didn't convince me to buy her young adult romance or whatever it is. And that's the obstacle, right? That's the obstacle I have to overcome. I have to convince people. The people who say, oh, that's awesome. No, I don't have to convince people. I have to find the people. I have to find the people who are like, really? Oh my God. And go right on their phone and order the book. Or write it down and say, oh, I can't wait to get it. Or say, do you have a copy? Those are the people I need to talk to. I don't need to convince people of shit. I just need to find the ones who are interested. Right? My good friend here in Colorado, he has no interest. First of all, he don't read at all. He don't read a goddamn thing. He bought a nice hunting book, and it just looks good on his coffee table at his cabin. He's not going to read that fucking book. I don't understand that. I don't understand how people don't read. Of course, I did it for, first 20-something years of my life. But I'm a grown-ass man now. I know that knowledge is in there, that there's stories and there's knowledge within books. But so this would be dumb, right? I know it now, and this is what made me think of it. It's dumb for me to say, you really should read my book. It's awesome. It's great. It's about this story and this guy and there's romance and he's immortal and blah, blah, blah. That would be a waste of time. That would be dumb to try and convince him to read my book. And he'll buy it as a favor, as a friend. But he's not going to read it. And so that would also be dumb to go out there and try to convince people. So I still have to present the information. I still have to get the exposure, right? So if this lady, I'm at the bookstore and they're like, here's my books about a young girl trying to come up in her, coming of age story of a young girl. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with your coming of age story. But if it's like, this is a book about a 40-year-old man living in a van, and I'd be like, whoa, who's a retired, Air Force med sergeant trying to figure himself out. I'd be like, do you have audiobook? Is there pictures in this book? I would buy. So there's no convincing. It's just presenting. Read my story of a middle-aged man with a beard trying to overcome adversity in the mountains of Colorado. I'm like, I want to get that fucking book. I will buy that book right now. So the point is, like, once presented with that information, you don't have to really convince people, right? You just have to find enough who, once they are presented with that information, they realize that is the thing that they want. If you're an exterminator You don't go to people's houses that don't have bugs. You go to people's houses that have bugs. People have to know that you're the one who has the problem or the solution to the problem they have. Man, that makes sense, don't it? Sense, don't it? So, anyways, that is my. Oh, one more thing. Feeling low, feeling blue, imposter syndrome. Like, nobody likes me. Nobody likes my books. What am I doing? I should be turning wrenches. I get a letter. I get a letter in the mail. Yeah, in the email. You know what I'm saying. You know what I meant. I get a letter in the email. It's from my contact form on my website. The one nobody ever fills out. Somebody went to my website, filled out the contact form, and said this. You probably don't remember me, but I work at Boulder Bookstore, and I told you I was going to read your books when you visited. Flash forward a couple months later, I, plus my coworker, Brianna, should I say that? Fuck it. Have read both Los Chocolates and The Whore. See, they didn't put the whole title on them. Have read both Los Chocolates and The Whore and love them both. Huh? No, mames. We would love to meet with you and talk more over a cup of hot chocolate, blah, blah, blah. Can you believe that shit? We would love to meet. Oh. Have read both Los Chocolates and The Whore and love them. Exclamation mark. So, they're out there. They're out there. I just need to find more of them. I don't need to convince people of shit. I just need to find more of the people who like my books. Because they're out there. Second edition of Los Chocolates is coming out, and so I've read through it once, made a bunch of changes, read through it twice, made a bunch of editing, proofreading, some more changes. I'm going to read through it again. But the second time I'm reading it, so granted, I wrote it 2 years ago. Now I'm rereading it after it had been published, finding a couple of mistakes in there. I'm a better author. I write better, and so I'm making improvements. But I read it and like, man, this is good. And I think I'm pretty sure I made a podcast about that. So the second time I'm reading it, and still I'm like, this is fucking good. This is good, especially as I'm cleaning it up. See, people are looking past the people like my friends over here at Boulder Bookstore. They're looking past the errors, right? They don't care because the story is good. 50 Shades of Grey, right? Don't care. That's the story women want to read. Women wanted to read. Gazillions of women read that book. It wasn't that well written, but they don't care. They don't fucking care because they're getting the story they want. And I'm presenting the story. If I can clean it up and give it to you better, I will. If I can do a better job, if I can polish it up, clean it up. But the story's there. I'm not changing that. It's good and it's fun. And I love reading it. I'm going to read it again. I got to read it one more time. But the second edition, I already have the book covers. So I will be putting up the second edition of Los Chocolates. I'm not going to have internet for a few days, but really soon. Look for it. And now, here's the thing. Which one are you going to buy? You going to buy the old, rough-looking version and see what kind of rider I was 2 years ago? Or are you going to buy the new, polished-up version? Might have to buy both, son. Might have to buy both. Anyways, folks, that's it. I got to go. I'm going to go into Leadville. Get some coffee. I don't know. I hope they have a coffee shop with internet. But hopefully I can get this uploaded, because if not, where I'll be the next few days, I will not have internet at all, especially not internet fast enough to upload this to the internet. So hopefully I don't want to stop at Starbucks in Frisco, because it's fucking Starbucks. But I know they'd have good internet. But I don't want to waste a morning where I could be in a new place. Never stop for coffee in Leadville. So that's where I'm going to go. I hope to join up with some friends later today. I'll be heading out past Gunnison. We're going to fish Blue Mesa, or around the Blue Mesa Reservoir area tomorrow. Today is driving. I'm about to stop along the way, do a little fly fishing. Waters are high everywhere though on these rivers. But Leadville. And that's it, folks. At David E. Soto Jr., just JR, at David E. Soto Jr. on Twitter, on Instagram. Our website is davidsotorice.com. You could use some updating. I post everything, though. All these updated second edition chapters of Los Chocolates I am posting up on the website. So I got 2 more to go, and so that's what I got to do this morning. While I have internet, I got to do some proofreading and editing. And that's it. I appreciate you tuning in, listening to me rant, listening to me talk to myself, basically, and figure shit out. I appreciate it. Thank you.